Welcome to Dancing Water. My name is Susan. I am delighted that you are here for your Dancing Water daily practice, which today is an Ajna practice. Ajna is a Sanskrit word that means inner knowing or intuition. And Ajna practices are an opportunity to do some self-guided work based on a little bit of form from me. So I'm here at my office in my office studio space at Dancing Water, and I have been thinking a lot about going up and down and sinking and floating. Oh, in these days I have found myself emotionally, mentally, and physically moving a lot up and down. And I wanted to highlight this as potentially really good work for our bodies, for our minds, and for our hearts. So today, 3 investigations, inquiries into the possibilities of sinking and floating. The first is for the body. And one of the things that can happen as we live in our bodies for a while, for a few decades, is that we start to minimize, to lessen the range of motion that we allow our bodies to travel. We go from sitting to standing and then to lying down, but we rarely get on the floor or get back up. Jumping may be something that we don't do so much. And so my invitation for the first practice for sinking and floating is to give yourself the opportunity throughout the day of doing just that, of moving down and moving up. If there's something on the lower shelf, get yourself all the way down instead of folding over. Get down to open it up. This is such a great way and a natural way of strengthening muscles, joints, heart, lungs. It's a wonderful practice to really sink and really reach and really float. So experiment with it and remind yourself that when you drop something, to really go down, sink down to pick it up. And when you need something that's up high, don't ask your tall friend to do it. Really reach and float to get it. The second practice is one of, I want to call it tolerance. I want to offer the possibility that as we are in these times of predictable unpredictability, to invite yourself to really feel the sensation when you read something and your heart sinks, or something gets canceled and your stomach sinks. Feel that sensation. When you notice yourself floating into distraction or imagination or creativity, notice that sensation and allow yourself to be there. Similarly to the body, one of the things that can happen is that we don't want to sink too low or float too high. And so we tend to moderate it and not really feel the fullness of both the lows and the highs. So this I invite in to our practice, is to expand your tolerance for sinking and floating. And finally, an imagery, a guided visualization that was inspired by an interview I heard on Being with Krista Tippett, which is a podcast that I love and I recommend. And it was an interview with David Stengel Ross. And he's a forget what kind of monk he is, but he's a monk. And he offered, just at the end of the interview, this image of putting your grief, your sorrow, your worry, your despair, to lovingly, individually place the things that are troubling you, the things that are causing you heartache, lovingly placing them one at a time inside a bag, a satchel of some sort. I somehow imagine this old-fashioned sort of Mary Poppins kind of suitcase, and placing all of these painful things into this satchel and dropping them into a deep, clear, clean lake, dropping them in and watching them sink, sink, sink to the bottom. And when they hit the bottom, notice what floats to the surface. Something from all of this worry and grief and sorrow will float up, will rise to the surface from there. I invite you to use your imagination and use your heart to feel the possibility there. Sinking and rising, we need to be doing both. We need it in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts. I invite you to welcome in the sensation of both sinking and floating. Thank you for being here. Thank you for guiding yourself through your own Ajna practice. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, comment, do share. Share videos that work for you with anybody who you think might benefit. It is my intention and deep passion to spread mindful practices of all kinds to anyone who needs them, regardless of their circumstances. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for practicing. I'll see you again soon. Mwah.